So happy this morning, really. May not look that good yet, but I really feel like this is going down on its own, like without really doing much. Like I still eat what I want. I'm not stressed. I do walk a lot places. I walk a lot places. I was doing a bit of bike riding. I wouldn't say I'm athletic, but I'm not sedentary, meaning I don't sit around too much. But this morning I got up. I know I put a stupid video yesterday of me, my belly. Look at this belly, would you? But you might think, oh, that's gross. But really, just little things I do make a big difference. And other people would go out of their way to exercise and get muscly and get all strong and then have this flat flab hanging off and have to get it surgically tucked. And I didn't want all that scarring. I didn't want to go through that and have all this scarring here. So I'm doing it slowly. I got it slowly and I'm getting rid of it slowly. So the skin has time to the elasticity in it will stretch it back to shape. So you might wonder why do we do this to our bodies? Why do we go through, say, mental health, take these meds, get sad, get depressed, get sick, and get these big bellies from sitting around eating depressed? Like I had a swollen belly from the meds and eating and that, and not really, well, other factors which people get uncomfortable at, which is not having a sex life, not having a partner, probably contributes a lot to that, because I get a lot of stress in my jaw too. I think I should have released all this stress in my head, my jaw, my body. I should be I should have the figure of an Adonis by now, through being in love and being worshipped by my girlfriend, or if I have more than that, or my friends, or maybe I have a few girlfriends, or a few lovers, or this or that. But I haven't sort of got that in my life yet. I hope to attract the right person who actually loves me. I don't just want to, pay for sex, or, I say whores and that just because I just don't want people like that in my life that just want money for sex, and I don't want that. I just want a loving partner, like a girlfriend or a wife, but all this should be bigger. I should look like an Adonis or a Superman, or like a beautiful sort of Ken doll by now. People say you look nothing like a Ken doll. It's just because all this is swollen. You take that away, and if I had my jawline corrected, I would look exactly like a Ken figure, like a doll figure. I got the right proportions, the right figure. It's almost like that Jim Morrison sort of Da Vinci picture. That I think Jim Morrison adopted that Da Vinci picture of the perfect man with well, that's me. I'm that perfect bloke. And you think, why do we go through mental health? Why do we get this fat belly? Why do we miss out on everything? And I think the answer is we may be perfect when we're born into the world, but the world itself is kind of corrupt, and it's almost like we have to go through warfare to get what we want. And some people die, they don't make it, and other people like myself survive. So it's like going through warfare. This is almost like my battle figure, like a G.I. Joe figure, If I'd gone to actual war with guns and had to go to that extreme to fight for my right to live, I've sort of done it differently. I've done it through artwork and music and using my mind, my brain, and that's what's got me this far through the warfare to the other side. But that's why I got through. I found peace. I got to sort of the end, I'd say, of my single life, I did as much as I could as a single man. You know, the rest of my life, to achieve anything, I'm going to have to be, I'm going to have to find a partner and be married and to do the other things I want to do, have a family, and really be successful in business. Really, to have the drive is to have a family and have a reason to do it. I can study as much as I want. I'm doing all this study, you know. I've got this to do today, electronics project. I want to learn how to build circuits. I want to be able to take this amp that broke. I've got this amp here. It's pretty old. It's a good amp, you know, it's a decent amp. And it just stopped working the other day. I want to know how to diagnose that and replace components and fix it, have it working again, and maybe do a business doing things like that. Maybe even just do analog systems for a while, or maybe then work into digital systems, or I'd like to be able to build my own circuits from scratch, you know, design my own things and come up with my own concepts of things I think are good to build. And I got a phone the other day, and it feels so nice just using a phone, not having a mobile, not having that whole world in my ear, just having just a handset, you know. I just felt great. It feels a weight off your shoulders. And I think that's what we need to do, is dissect the mobile phone, the desktop computer, the laptop, and create maybe 6 devices out of it, you know, not just this one thing that does everything that you carry everywhere with you. I think you should keep stuff at home, and because some of them are getting up to $2,500 in your pocket, and it's so easy to lose that. It's too much. You should have like a $50 thing in your pocket. If you lose it, it doesn't matter so much. But you're losing two and a half grand, even in a laptop, you know. So that's where my thinking's at. I want to help design components that are like mobile phone devices, instead of using the mobile phone for everything. I think it's too much, and it's good for the companies to take all your money. That's about all they're good for, really. I think that the pros and cons weigh out to zero in the end of their use, the amount of waste, the detriment to people's lives, you know, becoming addicted to them. There's too much on the one thing. You know, I say that, imagine in nature there's this tree with everything on it. Do you think anyone would go out anywhere else? They wouldn't. They'd sit around the one tree, admiring it, and not be able to do anything else. They'd just sit staring at this one tree. That's what they're trying to do with phones, put everything on the one thing. We're sitting staring at it like this. We can't move our heads away from it. It's becoming an unnatural, unhealthy sort of addiction. And as we know with addictions, what's that lead to? You know, people are going to have shocking brain problems when they get older. You know, I disengaged from technology, going in the outback for a month, and I got perspective, so I could come back and say, right, I don't need this stuff. You know, I don't use it like I need it. I don't want to make money from it. I don't want to be a pawn and a slave to it. I think I don't mind helping people a little bit. It'd be nice to get more feedback, but so I put a few ideas out there and things to help people in their lives. But yeah. So back to the belly. Yeah, look, I feel good today. Like this is really gonna squish down. I'm gonna feel my abs again. Like it's getting close. I'm not really doing much exercise. Just I do some stretches. You got to keep your you don't overstretch, but you got to keep all your muscles and bones aligned. Stretches help that. Just they don't do much else. They align your muscles and your bones a bit. Keep everything aligned. You know, sometimes like it's sagging in some of your muscles or your tendons, and then you overdo something and they're not ready for it. So that's why we stretch to get them ready for our activity. So when you get up in the morning, the natural thing to do is feel like you want to stretch a bit. So, you know, I've just got up. So, you know, I don't really want to be big and bulky. I don't want to be a big, bulky, muscly dude. I'll probably always have the bigger legs now because I've done a lot of walking, carrying stuff. But My arms have always been small. But yeah, maybe I could come up with just a um, physical routine I do of a morning, some push-ups or something. Once I lose the bulk here, it's just too much to push up. I can't quite do it. But yeah, if I could do 50 of a morning and just some sit-ups and maybe just a little routine like with these. I do these some nights. These little barbells, they're not that heavy. I just do some of these. I just do that, just lift them up in different ways. That's quite a hard one to get used to, doing that. Lifting up sideways. You can probably strain your shoulders doing that, so just take that easy. If you just do this, a good one if you're really fat and you can't do anything is, I got told this by a physical thing, which I agree. You get a chair and you sit down on your chair holding these, and you just stand up out of your chair and sit down into the chair and get up again. Just keep doing that about 20 times. Repeat those 20 about 3 times, and it's just enough to get your lungs going a bit, because your lungs stop working and you'll just sit there going not doing anything. I just got those from Big W or Coles or somewhere, or Big W or Kmart or somewhere. They had them. They say 10 kilos on each one. So I don't know if that means 20 on each, because it's got 10 kilos at each end. So I think it's 20 on each one, so 20 up and down. So all up 40. I think it might be 10 on each end. Well, there might be 10 all up on each side. It might be just 20. I'm not sure exactly. It's got 10 written each end. So, but yeah, I had a whole pizza last night. I had a steak sandwich yesterday, and I don't feel too bad. I only slept. I didn't really do much exercise. But it's about getting your metabolism going again. Because when you're too fat, your metabolism will stop. And it will tell your body, you're wounded, don't do anything. Sit and rest. That's what your metabolism will tell yourself. Especially if you've been on meds, your metabolism will say, you're wounded, lie down and rest. And you'll just keep eating and get fat, and then it'll just keep stopping and you get diabetes. Because your metabolism, if that's not working, eventually you'll stop producing insulin and the other chemicals involved in transferring fats to proteins and transferring proteins into muscle and carbs and transferring carbs to proteins and things, and you'll stop developing muscle. And it's, we don't ever stop growing. If you do the right things with your body can just keep growing, I think. I mean, it might come to some point where you can't do much more, but that's why you get some guys that are huge. They do a lot of sexual activity, physical activity, sport, athletics. Sex really helps, because if you're stunted down there, like I haven't had a sex life, but there's no reason why you can't, find that again. But the rest of your body won't be able. You go through too much pain, you won't be able to develop the rest of your body, because you haven't developed your sexual part properly as well. So, and if you're overeating, this will grow, and the rest of your body will. And I've always said to myself, this is the normal part. The rest of our body's too small. This should be bigger. My arms should be bigger. My legs should be bigger. This should be bigger. My dick, and then this is probably the right size. But to get that, your whole body the right size, you almost got to come back to where you started with your belly and just reduce that diaphragm. And it's all this diaphragm swollen up. Your organs swell up to deal with all the food and all the toxin and all the other thing, I don't think you can do what I'm doing if you're drinking too much, smoking too much, or taking drugs, or doing other unhealthy activities. I think you've got to be healthy to start with to be able to reduce this naturally and not have the tummy tuck. And if if you're happy doing a tummy tuck, well, do the exercise, push your body, and you'll end up with a flappy skin. And I mean, if you're happy with flappy skin, you could probably just leave it, and eventually it might come back to normal if you just left it, but you'd have to walk around with flappy skin hanging around this little bit here. Because, you know, for a long time I had a swollen belly, but I didn't have this fat in my skin. This part wasn't here, I just had a swollen belly. It was more like just that. And now it's sort of, I've got this sort of fat in my skin part, and that's got to sort of, your body's got to suck that out of the skin, and eventually it will just sort of feed off that when you don't eat so much. And you know, like I was telling my friend the other night, the essential thing is not focus on dieting. Eat what you want, try not to eat too much, try to cut back on sugar, have your sugar-free drinks, have your sugar-free foods, have your fat-free foods, but don't worry too much about dieting on a single, gee, I've got to just eat salad, or I've just got to eat raisins, or eat the meals that you like, but improve your activity of the day and improve your interest in life and your interest in being active and being involved, because you're not going to lose the weight or tone up your body or come back to your right sort of blueprint if you're doing unhealthy things like just sitting on the couch all day, just watching telly, you know. Unless you actually know how to starve yourself to death like my dad does. Out of necessity maybe, because he can't afford all the food, or he just not that way inclined. I was like that as a kid. I never really ate much, you know, either. So as I've gotten older, I've got a love for food, and I just love, you know, having a nice meal and, you know, having some drinks and whatever. But if you can improve your, what's the word I used? Activity. You know, activity. If you can improve your interest in being active and finding things to do of a day that are meaningful, like a good place to start, education, improving your mind. If you can get your brain working better and challenge your brain a bit to work, because your brain gets lazy too. If your brain gets lazy, it's going to shrink and you'll get Alzheimer's or something. So if you can don't just do crossword puzzles, do something meaningful, go out and learn some new skills, you know. That way you'll find new doors will open up, and you'll sort of, you'll find new pathways and more interests. And if you can become interested in life and follow your interests and then find work, it doesn't matter how old you are, if you're 90 and you're unhappy, go and find some work, do something, you know. Your body will respond once you use it more. If you think, oh, I'm wrinkled up and I can't do anything, my bones are going to break, and just do it anyway. What harm's it going to do in the long run, you know? Don't sort of, you know, jump off bridges and think your bones aren't going to snap. They might, you know. So just be careful, but there's nothing wrong with pushing your body when you get older, you know. It will respond in time with, because your body's shriveling up probably because you haven't had enough sex, you haven't had enough fun, you know, you've been depressed, you're on medications. If you can push yourself a bit out of that stigma, out of that rut, I'm not just talking old people, young people as well, even kids, even people who are fat, or even people who are unhealthy the other way, too skinny, you know, need to put on a bit of weight. They're probably skinny too because they've got no interest. They're sitting at home bored and not doing anything meaningful. They've sort of lost interest. So they're obsessing over their body, not being right, perfect, you know, too skinny. And if you can just find some interest and some education and some learn some new skills and find some new avenues in life, you'll find there's heaps of things you can do. You might think, what's the point? It's like, so you can feel good and you can forget about feeling bad. You know, why do you want to feel bad? Feel like crap, you know, it's no good. You know, that's the reason. Because once you feel good, you'll find you'll love life again. You won't care why, you don't care why you're here or what life's about or anything. You'll be doing it, so yeah. So I just think I can do it. Like, I was twice as big as I am now, and I'm finding this is coming right down. I'm feeling really healthy, really happy. You know, you got to abstain from things like pornography too. Don't over masturbate and do that sort of stuff. That'll make you really tired as well. Treat it like, oh gee, I need to take a whiz out once a week or something. Just do it once a week just to feel like you're keeping that part of your body working. So yeah, just focus on maybe once a week or once a fortnight or even once a month. Just do it as little as you can, all that masturbating, because it's not good to do too much of that. If you can keep that energy inside, it'll work in your favour. So yeah, that's one of the big things that kills young men, is doing that too much. Ultimately, I wish you the best finding a partner. It really helps having a love life. You'll feel better overnight, probably. People say, oh, you can't be happy, you can't put all that pressure on your girlfriend to make you happy. It's like, yeah, but it helps bloody a lot, If you've got someone to go on the journey with you, it's much better than doing it on your own, if they're happy to go on the journey with you. So, if you're out there looking for a guy, don't just look for the one with the perfect body. Look for the one that needs a bit of help, because they're the ones who are going to love you in the end, for really being there for them and going on the journey with them. And keep that in mind. You want to get back to your perfect bodies, and you'll love each other forever, So, yeah, I've missed out on that, having someone to do that for me. I've met girls in the past that just didn't want to do that, so for whatever reason. So, hopefully I meet someone who just accepts me the way I am, and maybe by then I won't have this bit of belly left. So, and I'll do less embarrassing videos and more interesting ones on things I'm working on, like my work and electronics. I might even just dedicate my YouTube to that one day and just delete all the other old rubbish off. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of my body. I'd stand here naked, I wouldn't care, but you can't do that on YouTube. So you can't do that on television. Remember that show? That was funny. Back to the opposites. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you later.